My name is Gladys. Today, I would like to introduce our new product, Immersion Cooling, as the next step for a sustainable future. Before my presentation, I would like to ask you a question. What kind of life do you prefer? An efficient life or a greener life? Because of COVID-19, we are not able to travel alone. And I'm not able to attend Semicon West or Semicon Southeast Asia. I'm not able to travel to Penang. I have to work from home. But because of COVID-19, a lot of life have changed. We don't have the data center, our life will be changed too. Because of data center, our life become more efficient. Why do I say so? As you know, now you have some doses to your body, you have the vaccine. But the vaccine develops so fast. Why do they develop so fast? Because of data center. But you know, data center consumes a lot of power electricity. So more data center, it means your life will not be so green. So what kind of life do you want? Efficient life or greener life? So let's see. For the global data center consumption of electricity, data centers are responsible for 1% of the total electricity demand worldwide. And there will be 422 billion pounds of emission per year. In this way, you can see 61% increased data center traffic per year. And 200 terawatt hour will be consumed by data center per year. So this is a very serious problem if we use traditional data center. What do I mean by traditional one? Traditional one means we use air cooling. Today I would like to introduce a different kind of data center. This will be immersion cooling system. So what is immersion cooling system? My topic will be divided into, what is immersion cooling system? And next I will compare the traditional air cooling and the immersion cooling system. The last one I will introduce what can NDS immersion cooling system do to the Earth. So what is immersion cooling system? I think the whole theory is very simple. It means in the tank, we will put the servers into the tank. The liquid will be put into the tank. So in other words, the server will be put in the water. So you will think, oh, very different from the traditional one, because usually our server will use the fans to cool down the servers. But with the immersion cooling system, we don't use the fan. No fans are required. We only use the liquid, special liquid. So in this way, the heat will be brought out. You can see the core technologies of immersion cooling system, including 3 parts. The first one is very important. We call it non-conductive liquids. Because the server have to put into the liquid, so we require very, very special servers. And then we need the CDU to exchange the heat to the coolness, to cool down the servers. So where does the heat go? Okay, you can see this is the immersion cooling system. So the heat will brought up to the tower, and then the coolness through the CDU will to the servers. So the coolness will be down, so the whole system will not be so hot. In this way, depending on what kind of servers and what kind of data center you require, we can provide the module one, the big tanks, or for the mobile digital centers, or for the 5G cell sites. Okay, for the edge computing, you might require for the 1U, 1kW immersion cooling system. Or also we prefer to provide the data center suggestion is the medium and the small tank. Next one, I will compare the air cooling and the immersion cooling system. As you know, the air cooling system data center, they have the fans like this. Okay, so they require a lot of racks built in the data center, and through the cooling system, the chiller and the cooling tower, then the server will be cooled down. But for the immersion cooling system, no fans are required. We only require a very simple, as I said, the tanks and the liquid and the servers through the exchange of CDU, and then the dry cooler go back to here. The coolness will make the servers cool down. Next, I will do more introduction about the comparison of air cooling and the immersion cooling system. But here, I would like to talk about a very important key point of the data center's focus. That is PUE. What is PUE? PUE, it means it is defined as the measurement of efficiency in the data center. PUE means the total facility energy will be divided by IT equipment energy. In other words, the less PUE, the less power electricity will be consumed. I will take Zhonghua Dianxin in Taiwan as an example. The PUE for Zhonghua Dianxin is 2.5. In Taiwan, the electricity is very important. We would like to have a no nuclear power station, but we are a small island. We require but we use a lot of power electricity, and our power electricity is very cheap. But it's a small island. So now for Taiwan, they would like to put the standard for PUE to 1 point. As I remember, they try to set the standard to 1.5. So how to lower the PUE to 1.5? Because if you use the traditional one, the air cooling, the best one they can do is 1.8 to 1.89. But in China, as I know, now they would like to put the PUE to 1.1, 1.2. 1.2 is the best they can do. But our system can do to 1.1. So I will do a very brief introduction about the comparison of air cooling and immersion cooling. Let's see if we use the servers for 100 kilowatts. For the air cooling, it might require the 5 racks. And because you need to put the heat and the coldness down, they need the aisles. So they might require 5 aisles. In this way, the PUE, the best they can do is 1.6. But let's look at the electricity. 160 kilowatt will be consumed for the data center electricity. For the air cooling electricity, it will be 45 kilowatts. So for the annual power, this example I took is from China. So you can see they will consume 1,401,600 kilowatt hour. The annual bill will be renminbi 1,121,280. But if we use immersion cooling system, the whole story will be different. The same servers, we only require one cabinet, one CDU, but we can achieve the PUE to 1.1. In this way, you can see the data center electricity will be only 110 kilowatts. For the air cooling, electricity will be 10 kilowatts. So 31% will be decreased. There will be a very huge decrease for electricity, save a lot of electricity bill. Next, because we use no fans, so the devices and the servers, they don't have much failure too. So for the failure rate, 50% will be lowered down. And because we don't use fans, no noise. Okay? So for the air cooling, as we measure, Usually they have the 95 decibel, but for the immersion cooling system, no fans, around 50. For the operating cost, okay, this is the most we concerned about. How much is it, right? Okay, for the air cooling system, yes, it required because we need the maintenance. We need for the servers, we need the electricity. It costs a lot of money. But for immersion cooling system, 40% will be decreased. For the space, for the traditional one, we have the high racks. But for the immersion cooling system, we only have the tanks. So the floor will be not so high. So in this way, the space will be lowered by 40%. So what can an immersion cooling system do to the Earth? It can reduce carbon emissions and to lower energy consumption, to lower water consumption, and the PUE will be lower than 1.1. You might be curious, is there any successful story about immersion cooling system? Then I'll put a very brief introduction about how we do with a successful case in China. This is by Alibaba. I think most of you use online shopping, right? Do you know 双十一, Double 11? Now our partner in China, they help Alibaba build a data center in I'm too nervous, I forgot the name. Okay, if I remember, I will let you know. Okay, let's look at the film. You can see this is the function of the non-conductive liquids. They put the servers into the tank, so the heat will be brought outside the system. Okay, this is the server, as you know. We use a special tensor to put the servers so easy to maintain. So for the Zhangbei, I remember. Okay, so we have a very successful case in Zhangbei. So how can we do with our immersion cooling system? The application can be applied to the data center for the edge computing or for the enterprise data centers and Bitcoin mining, AI, blockchain, and HPC solutions. The last one, I will give you a very bright side for our future. I don't know if you have you ever been to Taiwan. This is Chishan, a very beautiful countryside in Taiwan, in the east part of Taiwan. I hope 50 years later, or even 10 years later, I can see the green is still the green, the sky is still the blue one. So with the immersion cooling system, we can solve the problem of the carbon emission. We will give us a greener life. Okay, this is the end of my introduction. If you have more interest in our product, I will invite you to go to our booth. Our booth is located at A512 in the area, okay, arena. So our company's name is NDS. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.